Today, we're diving into the mind of an absolute legend in advertising, Sir John Hegarty. For him, a great idea isn't just a tool for business. Oh no, it's something much, much bigger. It's practically a religion, one with the power to transform everything.
And this quote, this is the core of his entire worldview. When Hegarty talks about ideas, he's not talking about some fluffy, creative concept you'd find on a whiteboard. He means they're literally the most powerful force we have. This one belief is the engine behind some of the most iconic ad campaigns ever created.
So what does he really mean by the idea? Well, it's definitely not just a clever slogan or a catchy jingle. For Hegarty, the idea is the fundamental truth, the soul of a brand, the engine that pushes civilization itself forward. In his world, you don't just have ideas, you revere them. Okay, so if ideas are that powerful, where in the world do they come from? According to Hegarty, they're not born in some neat, tidy, and predictable process. Nope, they come from something a lot more wild. And this, right here, this visualizes the fundamental battle in pretty much any creative industry. On one side, you have true creativity. It's chaotic, it's spontaneous, it feels like magic. And on the other side, you've got the business world, demanding structure, endless meetings, and, predictability. Hegarty's whole argument is that when you try to force the stuff on the right onto the left, you kill the magic. Every single time.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Trying to systemize creativity with all the formulas and meetings and endless reviews, he says that's the fastest way to get something totally predictable and boring. The real breakthroughs, the brilliant stuff, that happens when you're brave enough to embrace the chaos. So how do you actually encourage that creative chaos? Well, Hegarty gives us a few key ingredients. First up, irreverence. You've got to have the guts to challenge the way things are done. Second, humor. He saw it as this incredible tool to get an audience to just relax and actually listen to you. And finally, confidence. And not just a little confidence, but an almost defiant belief that you can create something truly magical. And if you want a perfect example of this kind of irreverence in action, look no further than the famous pregnant man poster from his early days. I mean, it was shocking, it was thought-provoking, and there was absolutely no way you could ignore it. It completely defied norms to send a powerful message about contraception, proving that a little bit of irreverence, well, it can go a very long way. All right, so you've got these incredible, irreverent ideas. How do they become something that lasts? Well, they have to move from being an abstract thought to their ultimate destination, the human mind. And this, folks, is where Hegarty's philosophy gets really fascinating. This might be one of Hegarty's most famous definitions ever. A brand isn't just a logo or a product you sell. It's the space you occupy inside your audience's head. And in today's world, with a million choices everywhere you look, that little corner of mental real estate is probably the most valuable and fiercely contested property on the planet. You know, the whole concept of a brand was born out of a very basic human need: trust. Think about it. We used to buy things from our neighbors, people we knew. But as commerce grew, we started buying from total strangers, faceless companies. We needed a new shortcut to figure out who was reliable. And that's what brands became, a symbol of trust. But look, trust is just the price of entry. To really, truly succeed, Hegarty argues that a brand needs fame. Now, we're not talking about celebrity gossip fame. He means public esteem, being known for something that matters. In a world that is just full of noise, fame is a giant signal that shouts, hey, we matter. We're a choice you should seriously consider. Okay, let's put all the pieces together. We have these irreverent ideas that are meant to build famous brands, all on a foundation of trust. So how does this actually work in the real world? Let's look at one of the most legendary examples in the history of advertising. So, picture this. It's the early 1980s, and Levi's has a huge problem. It's become your dad's jeans. It is not cool. So Hegarty's agency, BBH, comes in, and their idea is it's simple, but it's genius. They decided, we're not going to sell the jeans. We're going to sell the attitude. The famous laundrette ad with that amazing soul track wasn't about denim. It was about rebellion and cool and nostalgia. And the result? It was insane. Sales exploded by 800%. The brand wasn't just revived, it became an absolute legend. And here's the best part. This is the real Hegarty move. All the market research they did showed that young people hated the button fly. They wanted zippers. Now, a normal process-driven company would have changed the product immediately.
But not BBH. They had confidence in their idea. They ignored the data, made the button fly the star of the ad, and turned a perceived flaw into the ultimate symbol of authenticity. That is what trusting the idea over the process looks like. So when you look at it all, the power of ideas, the beauty of creative chaos, the making of legends, what Hegarty's work leaves us with is a very direct challenge for all of us. His final message is really an invitation. It's an invitation to embrace the very things that most of the business world tries so hard to crush: unpredictability, irreverence, and those wild, spontaneous thoughts. Because it doesn't matter if you're in advertising or tech or art, that is where the real magic happens. That's where the breakthroughs are found. At the end of the day, Hegarty's entire philosophy is just this powerful reminder that a single great idea can literally change everything. So the only question left is, what idea are you going to bring to life?